Well, the president hitting the links this weekend after coming under fire for sticking to his trip schedule following the Brussels attacks. The president insists if he can't golf, the terrorists win. Is that the right response? Here again to react, our political panel. Joining us now, Republican strategist Boris Epshteyn, Kristin Tate, author of Government Gone Wild, and Ryan Girdusky of Red Alert Politics. Boris, let me ask you a philosophical question. Is the president's main task as commander-in-chief to A, protect the country, or B, save the world?
I think he perceives it to be C, which is go do the wave with dictators, dance the tango.
There's another option.
Dance the tango. But in all seriousness, what he's done this past week was pathetic. It was sad, and he's completely derelict in his duties. As the president of the United States, he didn't have to come back, but he should have made a real speech on the terrorist attack and comforted the American people. This is why people are joining Trump, because Trump is somebody who would know what to do. He would know that you have to go out there and act serious, be a serious leader, and not do what Barack Obama did. Why did you have to go to, fine, you went to Cuba. It was a historic, in your eyes, in Obama's eyes, visit.
Right.
Why did you have to go on to Argentina? Come home. Americans are dying. Come home, make the American people feel comfortable.
Well, exactly. This is not just a partisan issue, too, though, Christian. If you look at the polling, there's no constituency of size for importing hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees. Nobody's for that because they're going to bear the consequences of this. Not the elites who make the decisions, but ordinary people.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Obama, right after the attack, he had the audacity to tell us that ISIS does not pose an existential threat to us. And then Hillary continues saying, oh, we have to keep letting these people in because not letting them in isn't who we are. You've got to be kidding me.
Terrible.
These people do not take our security seriously. They're sitting up there in their, protected homes. They all have security. They have Secret Service. They're not living in real neighborhoods with the rest of Americans. What's it going to take to get these Democratic politicians to take this seriously? Unfortunately, Tucker, I think it might take another 9/11.
More unfortunately, it's not just Democratic politicians. There's a consensus on the Republican side that we're good people, we must do this. I want to get to the Democratic primary, though, because I think we've undercovered it in general, the press, and it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders continuing to crush Hillary Clinton in some of these states, 3 last night. What does this say about the strength of her campaign? Is this ominous?
I don't know why a 69-year-old, 68-year-old woman who's been in politics for 30 years and changed on every single position can't find a constituency to sit there and run with her. But that's the problem with it. And Bernie Sanders, for whatever reason, there are a million reasons, I think there's a cult clumping to him in the college campuses where you not necessarily know why you're supporting Bernie, but because your friends are, there is an attachment to that. And there's also a bullying thing where if you have a different opinion amongst millennials, let's say to support Trump or whoever on the right, they'll just sit there and they'll bully you until you sit there.
Well, no, that's
it's
true.
like being on the View. You'll get bullied.
But here's my theory, though, that the candidates with an actual message, who have whether I agree with it or not, but if it's a coherent message, they're succeeding. Running on, say, their gender are not.
Right, and those who have changed positions throughout their whole career, like Hillary Clinton, are now ceding the stage to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders isn't winning. Hillary Clinton is losing. She's always been a bad national candidate. She's only really won layup elections in New York. Otherwise, she completely failed in 2008 to another insurgent candidate in Obama, and now she's failing again. But Trump is the best candidate she's ever faced. Hillary will be the nominee, and Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. That is going to be a very interesting election. Trump is going to be the toughest candidate she's ever faced, and she's going to lose to him because in the debates, he'll be able to pivot, he'll be able to attack her, and she will not be able to respond in any coherent way, because she never has been.
Well, in a year like this, would you rather be the candidate who represents change or the status quo?
Well, obviously, in this election, it's very hip to be an outsider. People are hungry for something new. They're hungry for change, and that's one of the reasons why Bernie Sanders is doing so well.
I'm sorry, I'm being commanded to end the segment. Not because what you're saying isn't compelling, it is, but because we're completely out of time.
Okay.
I really appreciate your all coming. Sorry I shortchanged your comeback.
No problem. Change.
Thank you, Tucker.
Change. Exactly. So music that will inspire you this Easter morning, the Christian group Passion performs for us next. Don't miss that.